be on there. Welcome back. Welcome back. Now it's time for everybody's favorite segment, Amazing 102.5 FM Sidelines. Ron's favorite segment, 16's favorite segment, Texas Southern's favorite segment. What's hot in the H? Man, it's going down this weekend.
Sizzling
this weekend. First off, we're going to take it off with the high school. We got South Oak Cliff versus Northshore. Them boys from Dallas coming down to take on them East Side boys real quick.
That's a huge game.
Huge game.
This early in the season is crazy. That's big time Texas football right there.
Man, shout out my boy Elo on South Oak Cliff. On that staff, man. So I'm excited for that match. That's gonna be all on Twitter talk. They've been talking trash all on Facebook too. Then also, U of H, UNLV comes down to play University of Houston this weekend. What you think about that matchup with the new head coach Willie Fritz?
Big time football. What you say? Big time players, man. Big time players. I think we'll see a lot of that this weekend because it's gonna start off the program and what direction they're headed in. So I think they need to get on track early, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and take care of business because those Rebels are a good program.
Yes.
They're a good program from top to bottom. So I think that'll show a lot on the Cougars' behalf if they can take care of business this early in the season against a quality opponent.
Right. And them boys, they got some Texas talent, too. Also
for sure. Always do.
So that's another thing. But as for Sunday, at least this is the most hype, the best part of the weekend. I got to look straight in the camera for this. It is Labor Day Classic weekend. Prairie View, Texas Southern is going down in H-Town. But this time, it's a little outside Prairie View, so you're going to have to travel up 290.
Up 290 a little bit. Not too far.
Ain't too bad, too crazy. It's worth it, though.
Always.
It's worth it.
Without a doubt.
And with that, on the line, I got my brother from another mother on the line with me here. Introduce yourself to the people, our Texas Southern sideline reporter.
How everybody doing? Jamel Matthews, owner of Unmatched Sports, Texas Southern alum, and just happy to be here.
Happy to be here, man.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you taking that time out your busy schedule to come on, man. He's been following Texas Southern closely, very close. So probably the most reliable person I know for Texas Southern. He's straight on the sidelines.
On the sidelines.
At the practice, straight only perspective from the sidelines. That's all you can get. So, man, what have you been seeing about this? What do you expect from this Texas Southern and Prairie View matchup?
Biggest thing, I'm going to start with the best team first. So I'm going to start with Texas Southern. So, biggest thing that I've seen from Texas Southern this year, first year head coach Chris Dishman. Majority of the coaches are brand new. Just a statement alone that he started training camp with. You start fast, finish strong. From spring camp to fall camp, all the players have been buying into the system. So everything's been looking good from the starters to the role players to the bench players. We got a strong unit on offense and defense. And the thing that I say about this matchup coming up on Saturday, expect some big things from this TSU offense. The defense gonna handle their business, but this offense look pretty good. They got some trick plays coming your way this Saturday too.
And man, so I want what's the difference between last year's team and this year's team? Because I know y'all lost Andrew Body, your starting quarterback, man.
The biggest difference, I would say, Andrew Body was a big loss. He's always been QB1 since probably 2020, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So losing him, that was a big gap in it. But the credit that I give to recruiting coordinator and wide receiver coach Jaron Wilson and head coach Chris Dishman, the biggest thing that they really honed on when they first got into the building is recruiting everywhere. No areas off limit. I know who the starting quarterback is, but I can't say who it is because they haven't announced it. But when the game starts Saturday, you'll see that they recruited very well, and this quarterback that's going to be the starting quarterback is very, very good. So I wouldn't say, of course, losing Andrew Body is hard, but you're really not losing too much from what we gained.
Just real quick for the people. So who is the quarterback battle position out of, just for the people, so the people can know who just the options they got?
The QB battle right now at Texas Southern is you have Chase Wilson, who's the newcomer of the year last season. You have KJ Cooper. You have Carter Barnes. You have Cornelius Banks. And Jordan Davis, who redshirted last season. So that's your QB battle going into the last part of these practices that they have.
Okay, and this is Ron with the Facts, the co-host here at Sidelines, and I just want to get into the gameplay a little bit. What are you thinking about the game? Do you think it'll be a lot of scoring? And of course, we know who you're gonna pick to win the game. Of course, I would be surprised if you said anything different than Texas Southern. But how do you think the game is gonna be? Do you think it's gonna be a high-scoring affair, or do you think it's gonna be a low-scoring dogfight?
Oh yeah, man, you ain't gonna catch me on here saying Prairie. Well, I wish I would. I ain't gonna do that, man. But the thing that I would say, if you go back from 2021 into last year's game, every game has been competitive, whether it's a high-scoring game or a low-scoring game. Last season, it was a shootout. Even though both defenses made some crucial plays, it came down to which offense could score, basically. This season, I think it's going to be a little bit of both. Both teams gonna start off slow for the first 2 quarters, and then that third and that fourth quarter, that's when we're gonna see these offenses and see which defense can prevail over the opposing offense. But if I could put my money on it, I think that it's gonna be that third quarter that's gonna light up the scoreboard for whoever wins this team or whoever wins the game.
Appreciate that input. I'll definitely be using that for my bet that segment. You know I'll definitely be using that for my bet that segment. I have to get some inside information.
Definitely, if you want to, definitely. So we know who he placing his bet on real quick.
For sure.
So, but I got to ask you this, man. So, y'all have lost 9 games in a row to PV. Man,
Where to throw them under the bus?
What is, does that light a fire under them? Is that something that they have talked about and discussed about in the locker room? The 9-game losing streak that they want to end?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. Chris Dishman has made it an effort to say this isn't, of course it's a rivalry game, but his statement, all the pressure that he had, that this is just one game. It's either going to be a win or it's going to be a loss, but it's just one game. You cannot, and he said this in the last podcast that I listened to, this cannot be a rivalry until we win 2 games. So we got to get that first win. So, but I think that each player on this team, when you go from starters, you go to the role players, every person on this team believes that they can beat Prairie. Now, that I feel like that was a determining factor in the previous years, having that belief in everybody on that team. Now that we got that, I feel like the sky's the limit for this team.
Okay. Then I got to ask you about how do you feel about the UTSA transfer to PV? Lucas Coley, the starting quarterback from PV, man. What do you think? How has the defense been prepared to stop him?
Well, the TSU defense is, I don't want to give too much away, but TSU defense has always been stout. It's going to sound kind of weird coming from it, but Prairie defense has always been stout too. He probably delete this out of this segment for me, so nobody don't hear this. Me being serious, TSU defense has always been stout. You got guys returning like Jacob Williams, linebacker, Isaiah Bogus, your linebacker. You got Javius Williams, Kanari Simmons, and you added pieces into that, which goes back to the recruiting efforts that you went through in the off season. Just adding more players in the secondary where we had triples at last season. You add key players in there, and I feel like our secondary has greatly improved since the last time we seen Prairie. Prairie tore us up in the secondary, and that was the key point why they won last season. But if you watch this secondary in its Labor Day classes, they're gonna have a lot of big plays, especially Kanari Simmons. He already told me that he got a lot planned for this season coming up.
Okay, and getting into that, how do you think the atmosphere is going to be there at the game? How do you think the little vibe is going to be for the fans and the people, attending the game?
Oh, the vibe is going to be good because you got the best of both worlds in sports. Now, I don't care which sports that you go in. This is the perfect atmosphere because you have Prairie, who always contends for the SWAC West, and you have the unknown. What I mean by the unknown, you have a new head coach at Texas Southern, where you're going to have TSU fans fighting at the grip to see what this version of the TSU football team is going to look like. combine those two things together with the Labor Day Classic, you're going to have a sold-out crowd. You're going to have one side Prairie, one side TSU, and, hey, it's going to be a sight to see.
Man, we're excited, man. We appreciate you taking the time to come on, man. Tell the people where they can find you at on social media and follow you at.
Oh, yeah, social media, just my name, Jamel Matthews, and most importantly, Unmatched Sports. Unmatched_sports. That's where you'll see all the TSU video, interviews, photos, anything TSU that you need is going to be right there.
Man, once again, we appreciate you taking the time. We're going to take a break on Amazing 102.5 FM Sidelines. Stick around. We're going to have some more ways to get money in your pocket with Bet That, with Ron with the facts.
Yes, indeed.